Last two moving forward. Thanks very much indeed, James. Afternoon, everyone. Yes, Squadron had handled all the prelims really well until just then. He just got a little restless, but nothing too serious. Last one moves in. They're in the gate. And they're off. 2-year-olds racing over 7 furlongs. A little slow to begin with Spruce, who's ridden away from the stalls as they go 7 furlongs in the Dragon symbol standing at Whitesbury Manor, British EBF maiden. And towards the inside rail, it is Race de Man who has the early lead with Power Effort on his outside, just a neck away, racing in second. Gallopy is in third place, then running a little greenly against the rail. See the Mountain in a share of fourth with the favourite Squadron down the centre of the course. He's at the moment in fifth. He's about 3 lengths off the dueling leaders. Gyro is next against the inside rail, followed by Breacher, and the slow starting Spruce is at the back of the pack as they take the slight turn now coming into the home straight proper and on towards halfway. Race de Man and Sean Levy have the lead of half a length over Power Effort and Benoit de la Sayette in second position. Now Colin Keane is urging Squadron, the favourite, to try and close on the leaders. He's still got about 2.5 to 3 lengths to find. Gallopy now is in fourth. Breacher is staying on in the royal blue down the centre of the course as they race now on inside the final quarter of a mile. And it's in the centre that Power Effort comes to now to challenge Rafe the Man, who is still holding every chance to the rail. Squadron is now being ridden along to try and close as they race inside the final furlong. Breacher is also putting in an effort down the centre of the course. Squadron has the lead, but only briefly. It's Breacher on the outside who now sweeps by and goes clear on the run to the line. It is Lewis Edmonds and Breacher who win. Squadron in second. Power Effort was third. The early leader, Race de Man, filled out fourth.
Breacher makes a winning debut for Lewis Edmonds, William Muir and Chris Grassick. For owner-breeder, Mr. R. Haim, and 12 to 1. There was money around for this son of Cracksman. He looked like a pretty racy individual in the paddock. He beats Squadron, who was off to rather a fair way out under Colin Keane, but does finish second for Race Beckett and Juddmonte. And a lovely start, a very professional start from Power Effort, who did look like he'd been needed a run for Ismail Ahmed and Jose Santos, but he's shown a bit of ability. Nice performance from our winner here, Sam.
It was really informative race. Breacher was obviously quite slowly away, allowed to find his feet by Lewis Edmonds, who's given him a lovely introduction. He's come and picked up the well-backed favourite and strode away to win, you know, with a good degree of comfort and decisiveness, really. I thought it was a very taky performance. 33 when the tissues first opened on this race, and has been very well punted. So landed a nice little touch for connections.
A certain Pyledriver won here at 50 to 1 on his racecourse debut. So interesting that William Muir decided to run him here on his racecourse debut. He always travelled nicely under Lewis Edmonds. We were just saying through the run that Squadron, Colin Keane was stuck out in the wing. He had a relatively wide draw in 6, and Colin was never totally happy, I didn't think.
No, no, the vibes were never that strong for Squadron. It was always a little bit of hard work for him, wasn't it, to get to the main two protagonists. Rafe de Man, who showed a lot more than he did on debut, bowled along at the head of affairs and justified that money, really, that spoke for him. Very taken with Power Effort, because in stall 8 he could have easily dived left. He didn't. He went straight as a gun out of the stalls and was swiftly into his work, travelled very sweetly alongside the pace setter and saw it out very well. And as we see here, Lewis Edmonds is just conjuring a run from Breacher, who's taken the time to organise himself, but you just got that air of inevitability, didn't you, from about the furlong marker, that he was going to come and wear down those horses that have been in the van for much of that race. Yeah, the winner, son of Cracksman, beats the Frankel. I say, I think Power Effort, good effort, hasn't got many, Mr. Abdullah Mansouri's own stallion, but he's had a nice winner at Newmarket earlier on in the year, and Power Effort, I think, despite the stamina on the Dams line, he can drop back to 6, definitely. Yeah, he showed enough boot, didn't he, out of the stalls, travelled very sweetly. They seem to go a swinging gallop in front. Obviously, we'll see as the times wear on for the rest of the day, but sort of Rafe de Man had got into his work very early doors and travelled powerfully at the head of affairs, and it sort of set up the stayers late on, didn't it? Back to Squadron. Now, in the paddock, I described him as a racy type, because he wasn't that big with lots of size and scope, and you can see on the head-on he's actually dwarfed by Power Effort, and the Cracksman's a little bit bigger, Breacher, the eventual winner. So you would slightly, Squadron, you'd have hoped for a little bit more today, I think, bearing in mind the market and the way he looks. Although mentally he should improve plenty for the first run. Yeah, it's an informative race, isn't it? And obviously you see Gallopy has just stuck on at the one pace there.
He looks like he wants the mile and a quarter already.
You suggested that, didn't you, in the paddocks, and also, you know, pre-race, that he was just going to want a trip, and it looks that way, doesn't it? He just wants, you know, middle distance handicaps probably either later in the year or next year.
A very informative start to the Salisbury cards. Breacher, your winner for Lewis Edmonds and William Muir, Chris Grassick. Breacher is very impressive on his winning debut, joined by trainer William Muir. Lovely performance. I remember a few years ago, a certain Pyledriver 50-1 popped up for a winning debut. This horse was nibbled at big prices, and he was very, very impressive.
If the horses, my horses have been just out of sorts a bit, and we can't put our finger on it. You can run them and they run bad, and then the bloods are wrong the next day. This horse wasn't right, and I withdrew him from his other race. Blood was okay 2 days ago, so we said, we got to go. I can't keep going. He's the best I've ever had.
Ever had?
He works like... this worked with EBT's guard off level and went away from him before the Hunt Cup.
And that horse, well, it's forward in the Hunt Cup.
Off of the highest weight that finished there. And I just come here, I said, I've took them to races and thought their bloods are right and they've run terrible. I said, if this runs as a gallops, they won't beat him. I don't care what's in the race, they won't beat him.
And Squadron was a horse that was very strongly fancied in the Juddmonte colours for Rafe Beckett. Lewis tracked that horse throughout, but when Lewis asked him to go, he went away. So obviously you clearly were not surprised, as long as he was right, that he was going to produce that kind of performance.
That was it, and you don't know if they're completely right until you go. And I've had horses that's gone to the races and run great, and they then seem to, their bloods go wrong the next day. But he's never raced, so he wasn't going to get stressed before. Horses that you've run, they go to the race and get a little bit stressed for and then flop. He wasn't. I fancied him, and I thought we hadn't had a winner for so long, so what will go wrong? But things change in this game.
It can change very quickly. Now, obviously, you're hoping he's going to go very close today. You're saying he potentially could be one of the best that you've ever had. Have you got any targets that you thought potentially down the line? Obviously, make sure he comes up this all okay.
Yeah, listen, he's never had anything to sort of say he's back for a while. The only reason he's back was because his blood wasn't quite right, and that was it. And Rob was panicking. Rob said, don't run him, William, don't run him. And if the horse is wrong, I don't want him to get beat out of sight. And so that was the only reason we took 10 days quiet, and then we come back. And I said, we either run him or we put him away and leave him to the back end, because he's not an early 2-year-old, but he works like a proper good horse. I said to actually EBT's owners, I've got a horse back at home that's really good. He said, I'll buy it. I said, the owner's not selling it. He's been one of my first owners. He bred it, and he didn't get accepted into any of the sales. And I hope he's top class for him, because he deserves it.
And for you as well, William. So very much look forward to following this horse's progress. And as I say, Pyledriver was a winner here at 50-1. Let's hope he follows in his footsteps.
Let's hope so. Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.